Good evening, how's everyone doing tonight? Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Loxley, I play board games, and I'm really excited about tonight's board game because I've found a lot of really new board games that I've not been aware of recently. So Wingspan obviously was what I was playing on Saturday, but whilst having looked back, I was describing Wingspan as very chill and calm and nice. Tonight we do not get that. Tonight, as you join me on at this table on a hill that I definitely live on, is not a stock photo from Tabletop Simulator, which actually appears to have the table floating just a few inches above it. We are playing a game called Maquis. So Maquis is from a studio called Side Room Games, who Kickstarter for the second edition is down. You can see it down here where the information box is. I just discovered this. I'm really fascinated by it because it is a single player worker placement game. What is a worker placement game? Well, it means that usually you are going to take one of your pieces, you're going to place it on an area. That area will produce something or allow you to do something. And then you go through and another player goes and another player goes. And then you all go until you've each been for the number of times you have meeples for. Not so in Maquis. In Maquis, you are against the game. It is solo worker placement, which is really cool to me because worker placement usually relies on having another opponent, somebody who you're actually playing against. But in here, it's purely the game is trying to frustrate you. The game has patrol cards which will assign where enemy patrols are going to go. And you still have that back and forth, but this time it's just you against the deck. And it does feel quite nicely isolating. This is tense. It is a weird little game where you are playing as members of the French Resistance, and you are trying to complete missions against the militia and also the German occupying soldiers who come in much later in the game. As you can see, we will not be having any soldiers at the start. Thank you very much for joining me, Hanzo. It's really appreciated. How are my sound levels? How's everything looking? Can everything be read? I can zoom things in, and I will be doing so. But yeah, welcome. It's also a game about choosing where to go, and there's a lot of risk reward. So when I first played this game, because I played a couple of games over the weekend, I've not won a game yet, so I'm really hoping to do that on stream tonight. But I played a couple of games, and the first game I needed to get some medicine and some intel, and so I put my meeples where you can get intel. I put it where you can get medicine. I put them even more where you can get medicine. And then the militia took Point Levesque and the grocer. And why is that important? Well, because your safe house is here. And at the end of your turn, if you want to get your supplies back to base, you need to be able to draw a direct line back to your safe house. Otherwise, you get arrested. If you get arrested, you lose that meeple for the entire game. They are arrested. They are not coming back. So you are one. So I immediately started the game after the starting round, down 2 meeples because they could not come home. And so it is very much that thing of you need to try and work out, can you keep paths open? Can you have somebody just standing on Port Levesque? Because if you go on Port, if you stand on Port Levesque and one of the patrols says to go on Port Levesque, then it will go on to the next place on that card. So you're trying to both get your missions done, but also keep secure these routes back to your safe house. And it is a delightful puzzle which I have not yet won and have not yet solved, and so that's quite good. I'm actually gonna leave those up here for now. Actually, no, I'm not, because I want missions up there. So we start the game very much with this setup. We have 3 members of the Resistance here with us, and then there are 2 in the cafe, where you can recruit them by paying them off with food, which we can get from the grocer. Hey, Nia! Thank you very much for joining me tonight. We are playing a slightly tense board game in which we are placing workers as the French Resistance, and we are trying to overcome the oppression of the militia in France during the Second World War. Because we're doing some very light themes. Absolutely. So we're still in the setup phase, so you've chosen a really good time. If you're not familiar with worker placement, as I was saying, we'll move to different places, like so, and then the enemy will move somewhere, and from there we will get certain resources. So, for example, if you go to the grocer, you pick up one of these food tokens. You might then be able to trade the food token, for example, up here in the poor district, along with some medicine to increase the morale of the town. However, we're also trying to make sure we can get back to our safe house. Yeah, so it is absolutely really cool. I love worker placement games. One of my favorite games that I got very early when I was playing board games is Lords of Waterdeep, which uses the same mechanic. But the fact that you can now have this as a solitaire, a single-player game, and it is just this nice, focused, isolating puzzle, I really like it. This is actually something I found on Kickstarter. A friend recommended it to me, and I was just like, yes, this is all for me. Because you do have to very much balance what you're doing by also getting your people home, because if they get arrested, if they can't get directly back to the safe house, they aren't coming home. They're getting arrested. They're gone. So we're going to start. We're going to draw 2 missions, and they're going to go at the top, and they can actually be locations. So I have no idea what these are going to be. I've shuffled. So we are going to be aiding the spy. British spy parachuted in a few days ago and needs our help. Provide him with the equipment and supplies to help him carry out his mission. Deliver 2 weapons to the spy on one day, followed by 1 money and 2 food on a second day. Okay, so that is cool. You are. I hope I'm a very pleasing voice as I become slightly terrified and frustrated. You are more than welcome to hang out. I'm really looking forward to talking through my strategy as I play this game. So yeah, as you can see, we need to get 2 guns and money and food. We can get guns from the fence, but the fence requires us to, if I zoom in, the fence wants us to pay money for the guns, understandably. So we're going to need to get some money, then we're going to need to get some guns, then we're going to need to get some more money and some food, and that's just 1 mission. Fortunately, it's not a time sensitive mission. I have no idea what this is going to be. What do we got? Let's go back out to this. A German bomb for the officer. Oh wow. A German plane landed in a field southeast of town. The pilot is at a hotel nearby. A perfect time to strike. You must have at least 5 morale to carry out this mission. Deliver 1 weapon and 1 explosive to this location. Before this mission is completed, east field and the southeast spare room are unusable. Oh my word. I've not seen this before. Before this mission is completed. So, this is something we're going to prioritize. Because what... Oh wow, this is a hard starting mission. So, once again, we need to get a weapon and an explosive. Now, if we look at the board, there is nowhere naturally on this board where you can generate explosives. Instead, what we've got to do is go to one of these spare rooms. From there, we have to pay the owner of that spare room to set up the chemist's lab. Then we need to get medicine from the doctor to that chemist's lab, at which point we can trade for a bomb. This is going to be difficult. This is already... this is already slightly terrifying. I apologize for the cough. Right. Whilst we're there... So we don't need a huge amount of food. Food we can just kind of casually get on the black market. We also need to really make sure we don't lose morale too much. So this actually needs to be done really early on. And before this mission is complete, the east field and the southeast spare room go east. So that's east. I'm going to put I'm going to put a cube here and a cube here just to indicate that those are currently blocked. So I cannot use this spare room near the grocer. I'm going to have to either set up the spare room near the doctor or the spare room near the black market. And again, I don't know where any of the patrols are going to go. So, let's start. Let's think about this. So, one thing I've definitely realized early on is that having more workers is a really helpful thing. So, we're going to start by just going to the grocer. We're going to get some food. So, first off, we do the placement phase. Placement phase is just you place, and then you do the action, because sometimes the actions don't happen automatically. Because you might want to do something in a different order, you might want to do something, you might want to buy food and then have somebody in the cafe, though you can't do that in the first turn, or you might want to get some meds from the doctor and then have somebody automatically in the counterfeiters, in the chemist lab, to pay that medicine straight to them. So I'm going to start with the grocer. Meanwhile, militia would be going to the grocer. So the grocer seems to be a very common place for patrols. Though I've seen the militia go to everywhere, but because I've got somebody already in the grocer, the militia are just taking a peek in. Whether I'm convincing them to go somewhere else, whether they're just like, oh, this person is known to the community, so is not a threat, or whether they just don't want to stand in line for their baguettes and wine. We do love the cliche. They are in fact going to continue on their way and go up to north. So that does mean that we have potential routes back along this side, but also along this side. Now, what we also want to be getting is money. And again, we cannot get a huge amount of money naturally occurring on the board. We can get a counterfeiter, which will just pay us some money. But the alternative is we go to either Radio A or Radio B. Now, at Radio A, we can get some of these intel tokens. Now, they're not going to be useful here because they're specifically tied to missions. You want to get intel to other members of the Resistance, the British, whomever needs this intel. But the more important one is this little parachute symbol, which means that I can call in an airdrop. That airdrop can give me either 1 money, 1 weapon, or 3 food on an empty field. I'm actually realizing that we might want to do the food as well, because that's potentially better than the grocer. Now that I'm thinking about that, but that... Okay, so... Yeah, okay, we'll work with that. We've started, we're going to carry on, but that's something to bear in mind for future games, is that actually it might be more efficient to go to Radio A and then have an airdrop of 3 food in the field. Okay. So I think I want somebody to go to Radio A. So I could go to Radio B, but that does then mean if a militia ends up in the black market, then I can't escape from Radio B. That's just not a thing I can do. So here, even if somebody stands on Pont-l'Evêque, like if they stand on the Doctor, I'm in trouble. But I think that's a risk I'm going to have to take. So we're going to go to Radio A. And the patrol would be going to Radio A, but is instead going to go to Rue Barda. So, I now want to make sure this person at Radio A can get all the way back to the safe house. So currently they can do that through Pont-l'Evêque, going through the Doctor. Yeah, I think... Pont-l'Evêque seems to be the better position. There's nothing you can actually get from being at Pont-l'Evêque, but it does mean that there is a clear route. The other thing I could do is the Poor District, whereby... But then, potentially, I end up getting trapped at Doctors between Rue Barada and Pont-l'Evêque. So, I'm going to secure Pont-l'Evêque, pour la Résistance, and our final... Of course... Oh no! Okay, so this game is... Man, this game is rough. So because this militia would be going to Pont-l'Evêque, there's already one of my people at Pont-l'Evêque. They could go to Pont du Nord, but there's already a militia at Pont du Nord, so they are going to wait at the Doctor, which is... That's actually really unfortunate because the fact was they would either have been at Pont-l'Evêque or at the Doctor, depending on where I placed, and that is a real shame. Okay. So that changes what I'm going to do, because this person in Radio A is going to get arrested. But as far as I can tell, it's unclear. It's probably unclear in the rules, but my interpretation is that if you are going to call an airdrop, then that is something that doesn't need you to physically take something from a location. So an airdrop can be called whilst the person may not return. So we're going to start by asking for an airdrop of free food into this field, because that potentially gives us a lot to work with in terms of recruitment. It gives us a pretty good way to start aiding the spy, and it potentially gives us things we can take to the Poor District to improve morale, or the black market to sell. So that is and then this person, they can either go to the spare room or the Doctor. Either way, they end up having to go through the Doctor. They get arrested and are arrested. Your sacrifice is appreciated. It is. This game is brutal, and yeah, it is very cool for that. So this person, having not been successful, goes back to Pont-l'Evêque. This person gets a food into my supply, which I'm going to arbitrarily put up here, and also comes back from the grocer. At the end of the round, we go into upkeep, so we move all of the militia back out of their patrols, and we move this cube one step further. Okay, so this next day is actually going to be fairly straightforward. I'm going to send this person to this field. Troll. Oh, no. He's going to go to Radio A. That's fine. This person is going to go to the cafe. Troll is going to Radio B. Glad I did not want intelligence today. So, you may be curious how many militia get played during the militia placement phase. Oh, here we go. So on this morale, that dictates how many militia would be placed. So if we had at the start, we are placing 3 militia every turn. If we go down to 4 morale, then we're going to start to place 4, and then at 1 we place all 5 militia. And if we lose all of our morale, the game is over. We are done. There are also things that advance the soldier track, such as killing the militia, which is something you can do if you've got a gun, which we don't, though it would have meant that doctor. But those militia are then replaced by soldiers. This gets difficult quick. It's a very nice puzzle. Also worth noting, if right at the start you were able to raise morale to 7, and you started with your 3 soldiers, your 3 resistance members on the safe house, you would still have 3 soldiers, because it's either how many people are in your safe house or the number that's being covered by on the morale track, whichever is higher. So we're playing 3 militia, even though we only have 2 resistant members in our base. So annoyingly, this would have been a really good day to get medicine from the doctor, or go to the poor district, or do any number of things, because a lot of all of the patrols are in the north. But you can't really predict that, and that's kind of one of the puzzles you're trying to work out against the game. So this resistance member is going to come from this field, go back to the safe house, and he's bringing with him all of this lovely food. So I have 4 food in my supply. This person is going to come back to the safe house and also bring with him another member. We are back up to 3 members of the resistance. And to be honest, that's kind of the game in a nutshell so far. I mean, is there anything that's Hanzo, if you're there or near, does that all make sense, what I'm doing? Are the instructions I've given clear, just to be sure? Cool. That's really good. I'm also just gonna quickly. I've also got the rules open to my right. It's a really fortunate time to have a multi-screen setup, because Tabletop Simulator is really, really good in terms of accurately getting a feel for the physics of a game. It's really nice. You can't really absolutely replace that sensation of picking things up and putting it down, but you can get that tactility, but it kind of requires you to know how to play the game first. Is this game free to try in Tabletop Simulator? Yes, it is. I believe it. Maquis was originally kickstarted a few years back. This is now part of the Kickstarter for Maquis 2nd edition, which is being linked down below. But ever since that first Kickstarter, the original game, the first edition of the game, has been free to play on Tabletop Simulator. And the rules and they've got a print and play rule rules you can use, and the rules on the Kickstarter page. They really are doing their level best to really push this game out there, which is And the fact that it's a second edition also, as my friend who recommended this game to me said, the fact that it's a second edition means that they've actually taken any feedback they've got and they've iterated on it and they've got a really solid game. So yeah, it is free to try in Tabletop Simulator. I would recommend giving it a shot if it seems like your kind of thing. Right, so we're back. So that was a very quick turn, which I extended by talking about the actual Tabletop Simulator. We're going to move on to day 2. I don't actually know what these asterisks are. I assume there are some specific rules or missions which refer to the asterisked days. Certainly, Intel is only referred to in some of the missions. The orange spaces are the natural decay of morale in the town, by the way. So when we move on to onto this orange number 3, this cube is going to move from 6 morale to 5 morale. Doesn't change the number of soldiers, but obviously you remember that the bomb needs to be placed whilst we have 5 morale. So that is a legitimate challenge. Oh, I should also return one of these food to the pool because I brought this person from the cafe into the resistance using that food. Okay, so where do we want to go? I don't need food right now. We have enough food for the time being. I think I would quite like to get some medicine because we are going to need that. So I'm going to move my first person up to the doctor and we'll see where the patrol goes. They're going to the fence. Okay. They go up there. That's fine. Whilst we're at it, we need some money. So whilst we have a clear run... Or do we... Let's not get greedy. Let's take Pont-l'Evêque because Pont-l'Evêque is the best route we have back to the safe house. So it makes sense to secure Pont-l'Evêque. And whilst we're doing that, we have more food in our stash. So this new resistance member can go along, talk to his dining companion at the cafe, and then we can have 4 out of a possible 5 resistance members after our comrade-in-arms was so unfortunately arrested. I've just done that completely wrong. Sorry, before this person goes to the cafe, I need to draw a new patrol card. Okay, Radio B. So Radio B was a consideration as to where I wanted to go. And in fact, now that... So this is also the interesting thing about worker placement. Because you have this back and forth, I'm now noting that even without that 4th resistance member, and 4th resistance member would be very nice to have, but right now we have a clear route. Excuse me, sorry, just one moment. Sorry about that, just need to clear my throat. Yeah, so right now we are in need of money because we need to pay for guns. We are in need of medicine, but fundamentally, yeah, it's just the money is gonna be, yeah, weapons. 1 money or 1 weapon. Okay, so better than money, we should airdrop a weapon. That is a better use of this round whilst we have a clear route back from Radio A through the doctor to Pont-l'Evêque, and the militia cannot come and get any of those. Right, where's my final patrolman? They are going to the grocer. Okay, that's absolutely fine. So, our first operative is going to ask for a weapon to be dropped in the field. They're going to then scurry on back to the safe house. This meeple is going to grab us a medicine bag for the stash and run back to the safe house. and this person is going to just come back off Pont-l'Evêque and return home. Okay. End of upkeep. Bring all the militia off. Move the... do the 3, which also means that morale is going to decrease by 1. So, safest thing I think we can do is... or actually, do we want to try and do something very similar again? Because it's actually more efficient to just get weapons dropped on that field rather than getting money. We need money anyway, but right now we need 3 weapons, and it's going to be much more convenient. Considering you also need a chemist, we are going to have to pay 2 money for that chemist. Actually, because the bomb would allow us to open up this field, that actually means that we probably should prioritize getting money for a couple of turns. Oh, I don't necessarily want to do this, but we could go to the black market and get our money. Go to Radio B and get some money. And sacrifice the morale, and then we just have to go to the doctor to get a bag. Okay. Yeah, I feel scuzzy doing it, but in terms of making sure we have that chemist lab, I'm going to go to the black market because we have plenty of food. And I'm also realizing, so in the poor district, you need to provide them with food and medicine to raise morale, but you'll need to provide medicine or food for a money and a decrease in morale. So that is good to a given definition of good, because we have 3 food, so we could then even go to the poor district next turn to raise that morale back up to 3. Where's our patrol going? Pont-l'Evêque. Okay. So possibly the most important thing to do right now is to get somebody onto the grocer to make sure that we've got a clear run. And then if somebody ends up on Radio B, that's fine. We'll send somebody to the cafe, get a fourth member of the resistance, or they can go to that field, pick up the weapon, or they can, or if Radio B is clear and we have a straight route home, then again, airdrop, money, all good. Yeah, because we can actually that's potentially more efficient, because you can collect all of the resources that have been airdropped into the field rather than just one at a time. So getting everything in the field that we need and then taking it probably works a little better, if not the most ideal. So let's go to the grocer. And flip all these cards up, and very nice shaking mechanic that you get off Tabletop Simulator for shuffling. Right, where's my second militia? You're going to the fence, who actually I don't think we need right now. So I am becoming increasingly aware that one of the things about these missions is, because of where they are, they also need a route back from the card to the safe house, because they are actually attached to rows. They're actually part of the town. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, Hanzo, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that this has been an interesting look for you at Maquis. I would highly recommend checking it out. In the meantime, because I have that straight run at Radio B, I'm going to do exactly what I said. I'm going to go to Radio B and we're going to do an airdrop. And our final person would be going to the grocer, but they're actually going to Pont de Nord, which works okay for me. So we're just doing these actions, resolve them in order. So Radio B, they're going to drop a money in that field, run back home. We are going to pay a food to get a money into our stash. This person's going to run home, and we're also going to lose that morale, which means that there are going to be 4 soldiers in our next round, which kind of sucks. Finally, we're actually going to get that food back because we're in the grocers anyway, so might as well have the benefit of being there. Right, and that's the upkeep. Come here, and you come here. Right. So next turn, we definitely want to be going to the poor district. We definitely want to be going to a spare room. Oh, and we also need to go to a field. That's right. We might as well go to the cafe as well. So actually, no, we want to go to... We can get to the poor district. I will do the poor district last because I'll be able to plot out a potential route back. Because if Pont l'Evêque goes, I'm not taking the 50-50 chance of the grocer also going. I'd far rather have the options. Yeah, so my first meeple is going to go to the field. First patrol meeple is going to go to Radio B. That's quite good. Gives me lots of options. Second meeple is going to go to the cafe. Second patrol is going to go to the grocer. So again, we've got this... Do I want to take a gamble on Pont l'Evêque? Because I'm really not sure I do. Because if Pont l'Evêque comes up, or worse, if Pont l'Evêque is like the second choice for somewhere I'm standing, then that would be slightly rubbish. There is that kind of risk-reward strategy. Oh, I didn't move the cube forward, did I? Day 4. Oh, also, if we get to the end of day 14, we also lose. So, yeah, there are so... It is that kind of... It would actually make, if they had chosen to do so, it would make a very good cooperative game, because you have that same thing you have in Pandemic and Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert and any cooperative game where you have so many different potential fail states, but a very narrow path to win. But I actually like the fact they took what could have been a very, a much bigger collaborative, cooperative game, and they really boiled it down just to you moving things alone to have a single player, a solitaire experience of a worker placement game. It's absolutely great because it's just, I'm just sat here, I'm literally stroking my beard, trying to think what is the best strategy, and should I risk running into the poor district to get that morale up, because I do have the option. I really do feel bad about lowering the morale, and also it does mean that I will only have, no, actually, either way, because then well, if I get to the poor district and if I get to the poor district and I raise the morale and lose and one of my resistance members gets arrested, I will only get 3 soldiers. If they all get back, I'll have 4 soldiers. And if I don't move that morale, I'll have 4 soldiers to deal with. Sorry, not soldiers, militia. There is a distinction in the game and in real life, so I should be very clear with that. Of course, the other thing you can do is set up a second safe house, but that, again, costs you time and money, and we only have so many spare rooms. But it does mean you've then got places to retreat to. So you have lots of options. Right, okay. So the poor district has a little orange symbol which says you may complete an action without returning the worker to the safe house. So if I send a worker to the poor district, even if they get arrested, then they still get the benefit of raising morale, which we need to have to plant that bomb. So let's run into the poor district and just hope that Pont-l'Evêque is left alone, thank goodness. Okay, so final militia person at Radio A. That means that this meeple is going to run back to the safe house, bringing with them both a money and a weapon. It's worth pointing out, I can use weapons to shoot militia. But I've also then got to discard the weapon resource. And then it is going to increase the soldier track, which again reduces the numbers. So again, in this particular game where I am so heavily requiring weapons, I don't think I want to take that risk. Anyway, moving on, we're going to take both of these people back to the cafe, and we're going to get rid of one of my food. And we're going to get rid of that medicine we picked up in round 1, I think. And a second food to increase the morale back up to 5. Which is the minimum requirement to complete the bomb for the officer mission. And we have a free run back to the safe house. Okay, we move on to day 5. Bring all of the I'm looking at the rules. It's actually the milice. I have not spoken French in a very long time. The milice. I don't know if anybody knows more about Vichy France and the correct pronunciation of milice. Please do let me know. For the most part, I'm going to continue to refer to them as the militia. Because they're armed police, effectively. Yeah, it is a paramilitary militia. Sorry, so I'm just looking at the very brief potted history that they give you in the instructions. Which is excellent content for a predominantly visual and talking medium where you can't see the extra screen that I have. Let's carry on, shall we? So it's day 5. We have the money we need to establish a spare room. We're going to need a medicine bag. If we don't have that. We're going to need... I'm thinking that we want to hit around this western part of the town. So we want to have Pont-l'Evêque, the doctor, the radio, and the spare room. Because the radio will let us drop more guns. And we want those for the spy. So I'm going to start this by securing fact, yeah, let's start by securing the doctors and see what the patrol does. They're going to take Pont-l'Evêque. Okay. So that is fine. But it does mean that this person needs to go to the grocer. And, you know, it's extra food. It's not the worst thing. That's probably a good thing to have. Next, Melissa is going to Radio A. Okay. So I'm also going to want to secure the poor district, because then that gives me a run in. I don't want to increase the morale necessarily, but I do need to make sure that this point has a clear path. So, into the poor district. Patrol does the... Oh, no. Right, so this turn has been more or less wasted, because the only person who's going to bring something back is this person, who is now surrounded. They are not going to be able to come back unless I choose to shoot one of the milice. I'm not sure that's the best idea, because that again puts us back. Yeah. Because without the doctor's bag, we can't even consider raising the morale. And we also end up losing a weapon. So we're several steps further back, and we lose a person. But we have 4 people. Okay. We're going to abandon this spare room. As an idea, I don't think it's as useful. I think if we're only going to have 3 people, then we want to look at this eastern part of the room, eastern part instead. So Radio B, Black Market, spare room, grocer. So let's establish something in this spare room. Let's really hope this is not a day the Black Oh no. Oh my word. That's just cruel. He can't go onto Pont-l'Evêque, so he has to go Black Market. Right. Okay. We're going to escalate a little bit. Yeah, we're going to escalate. Because this person is going to get a doctor's bag. We are going to discard our weapon to get rid of this militia. And he then gets to run home with the doctor's bag. That's good. This person is not going to do anything in the poor district. Actually, we're going to increase our soldier rank by 1. We're going to go back down to morale of 4. This person in the poor district... How many we got? Right, we're kind of going back to square 1. But I think it's arguably for the best. I'm going to pay that doctor's bag and the food, raise my morale back up, because I really don't want to be dealing with 4 militia versus 3 resistance. So you're then going to run home. We're going to get one of those food back immediately. That's something at least. And you're going to come back. You are going to pay this 2 money to whoever owns this spare room. We are going to establish a chemist lab there. But you are then going to be arrested no matter what. Your fight is over. Thank you for your service. So we have the chemist lab. We don't have any weapons. We don't have any doctor's bags. We don't have any money. And we don't have any food. We got one food. So. Merde is, I believe, the appropriate term in French. Let's bring the patrols back. We are actually only dealing with 3 patrols. However, I'm pretty sure that one of them is now going to be a soldier. Militia that are already on the board. They can't be shot. That's fine. I just need to have a quick look at the placement phase because I've not yet done. I've never shot a militia before. By default, all patrols are militia patrols. If there are any soldier patrols required, they replace militia patrols on a one-to-one basis. They're always the last patrol's base. So if 4 patrols are being placed and the soldier track is at 1, we place 3 militia and then 1 soldier. So rather than 3 militia, we will be placing 2 militia and 1 soldier. You can't shoot soldiers. They are too good at shooting back. Let's see what we can do. Let's take a focus. Actually, that has given us a bit of a focus because we always kind of fundamentally right now, this right-hand side will always get us something, and that is a good thing. So, in the first point, let's get a food. Let's no. Do you wanna? No. Let's secure Pont-l'Evêque and get a doctor because we can't get the doctor without the medicine. We cannot get the explosives, and that is just the more sensible option. Patrol is going to go to Radio B. Okay, that's fine. And the one good thing you can say is that because they're only spare rooms that these things are being set up in, then the militia will never go to there. But it doesn't stop them from being slightly locked off if the militia stands in a certain specific place. Right. Second, we're going to take this person to the doctor. These patrol cards are going to be shuffled. And a militia is going to be going to the fence. Finally. Okay. Radio A. Let's do Radio A because that is, again, that's a clear run. That's not a member of the Resistance. So, and it's that same route we had right at the start. Radio A, Doctor, Pont-l'Evêque. Getting some money, or no, in fact, getting a weapon. Getting a weapon is more important because, yeah, that's much more important. And our final patrol, this time being a soldier, is going to be patrolling in the grocer. So, radio for a weapon to be dropped. This person comes back to the safe house. We get a doctor's bag. This person comes back to the safe house. This person leaves Pont-l'Evêque and comes back to the safe house. Okay. All the patrols come home. Move the day on. Morale falls again. Which means I'm actually going to have to go get more food and medicine. But we will make it work. Okay. I have a vague feeling, and this is not necessarily based on anything solid, because I'm not really remembering the cards, but I don't think the black market appears in position 1 of many of the cards. Which means, if we send our person to the chemist lab first, we'll know whether we need to secure Pont l'Evêque or the grocer for the route back. I'm going to start by sending you over to the chemist lab. This is now going to be... No, so we're going to the fence. First patrol goes to the fence. And we're placing 4 patrols again. So that is less than ideal. Let's go to... Next, let's go to... I don't really want to sacrifice... No, but I want to secure this route back anyway. So I'm going to send this person to the black market. Actually, no, I'm going to send them to the grocer. I think we're going to want more food. Turned out to be a really good call because Pont l'Evêque is being marched on. I don't think I want to... Yeah, I'm gonna play this safe. I'm gonna go to the black market. We're not gonna spend anything because I really cannot afford the loss of morale. So, but we get at least out of this the explosives. Next patrol is gonna go to Radio A. This is still a blue. Because our final patrol would be going to the grocer, now goes to the Port District. That is some imagery. Soldier walking through the Port District. Okay. I think you can tell, like, this is a really tense game. You are definitely trying to work out what the best plays are, and it feels like everything is giving inches and you are trying just to not mess it up. Because, yeah, like, if I lose another person, conceivably it's winnable. But I'm not sure how. Plus, I'm very aware that I have all these missions still to do. Like, it's such a puzzle, and it's such a fascinating game to play. Anyway, let's go into our activation phase. So I'm going to trade in that doctor's bag for an explosive. I'm going to run this person back to the safe house. I'm going to not do anything at the black market and run this person back to the safe house. I am going to get food at the grocer and run this person back to the safe house. Okay. All the enemies return home. And we move forward a day. So I need to get a doctor's bag. I need to get those. Right, all 3. Right. First thing I need to do is secure Pont du Nord, because oh no, I need to get to the field. Right, let's go to the field is the safest option. Always place the field last, because if you place the field first, then that potentially closes off Pont l'Evêque, and I need to go to the doctor to get a doctor's bag. What do I need a doctor's bag? I know I need a doctor's bag. It's because I need to boost morale. Okay, so first thing, Pont l'Evêque. That's fine. First patrol goes to Radio B. Second placement. Oh, no, that's 2 of you. Second placement to the doctor. And patrol goes to the grocer. Third placement goes to the field. Third patrol goes to Pont l'Evêque. Can't go to Pont l'Evêque, so they go to the black market instead. Final placement is a soldier, and that's going to go to Radio A. That's fine. So I get a doctor's bag. That's really good. I get a weapon. That's really good. And everyone is able to come back to the safe house. And the soldier comes back as well. Okay. So I'm now in a position where I can try... Oh, no, so... Okay. This is risky. This is really risky. Because what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to do two things at once. I'm going to start off moving this person to the poor district. Oh, I need to move the keyboard. First placement's going to the fence. That's fine. Second person, I want on Pont-l'Evêque. Second placement of the enemy is the grocer. Third person, bomb for the officer. Pont-l'Evêque, black market. Okay. And then finally, the soldier would be going to the fence, is in fact going to Rue Barretta. I was desperately frightened that somebody was going to stand on the Pont du Nord. That didn't happen. So I am pretty... Yeah, that's really good because I can dispose of one weapon, one bomb. Oh, wait, sorry. Get rid of a... Sorry, we'll do this in the correct order. Get that bomb and the weapon back. First off, this person in the poor district is going to give a food and a medicine to the poor. Run back, increase morale to 5. This person is then going to get rid of a weapon and an explosive to deliver a bomb for the pilot. And has a clear run home. And then this person comes up on Pont-l'Evêque. So that works pretty well. This is actually probably the best I've done so far in one of these games. And immediately it's turning about because I'm going to lose that morale I just boosted again. Because I was thinking, oh, actually, this might be quite nice. I get to actually... in fact, I'm going to... The reason they have these little boxes on them is you move these cubes up to them. Yeah, cover the box. And then if you've got 2 missions to do, you can cover one box and then cover the second box. But we now have access to 2 fields, which means if we can get to both the radios, we can get 2 drops per turn. That does, however, mean that potentially somebody gets left the wrong side of a bridge, particularly as our morale is on day 9 is going to drop back down to 4, so there will still be 4 militia on. There will still be 4 patrols, I should say, on the board. So what's our focus next? Almost certainly weapons. So the annoying thing is now that chemist lab is all but useless. But we do have potentially the option to put in a new spare room which has a much easier which we have a much easier time of getting to. Right. Do we have the time to do this slowly? I guess is the question. Actually, the other thing is that if we do just one radio and drop it in a field, then actually the benefit there is that we can just grab everything at once. So we've already got 1 food. We need 2 weapons and the money. Let's do the easy bit first. Let's go to the grocer. Meanwhile, Pont-l'Evêque being secured. We also need a weapon, which we know we can get from an airdrop, which is a much more efficient way of doing it than paying money to the fence, particularly because we need money. Who's the next person? Radio A. That's absolutely fine. What could this person be doing? What can this last person be doing? Because there's not a huge... I mean, they could go to the black market. Not denying that. But they don't really have something useful to do, because you cannot pick up the airdrop resources on the same turn that they drop, because presumably to recognize that you're phoning ahead to say, hey, can you get this? Oh, thank you very much for joining me, Nia. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you got some homework done. What do you think of the game? Okay. Let's just make sure that nobody's going through the black market on patrol. Let's be a little bit cautious. Radio B, you go to Rubaradat instead. And then my soldier, the soldier, is going to go to Radio B. We'll go to the grocer. Oh, no. So, you will notice that Radio B is full. The grocer is full. The black market is full. Now, if all three locations are occupied, the patrol attempts an arrest instead of patrolling a location. For an attempt to arrest, I checked locations on the patrol card from the top again. This time, the patrol stops at the first location occupied by a resistance worker. The arrested resistance worker is removed, which means that that person goes to Radio B, and we lose yet another comrade. And our final soldier, though it almost doesn't matter at this point, goes to... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that was actually my fault. Sorry. I'm making things much worse than they need to be. But yeah, that's... Oh, dear. Oh, I get a food at least. At this point, I'm almost thinking that it might be worth just trading in one of those food for a money and just trying the fence. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to do that. I lose a morale, but that almost doesn't matter at this point because 4, 3, and 2 morale all basically add up to you have 4 soldiers going on the board. Okay. That is... Oh, that sucks. Okay. Okay, I need to have a drink. I need to take a... Okay. We have a few things we need to do. I think the first thing we need to do... And again, we might as well just go to the grocer because then that gives us a bit of a route to Radio B. Radio A is occupied. Go from the safe house to Radio B. The grocer would be, but instead it's the poor district. I must admit, I'm very glad I chose to have this nice, calming background music from Stream Beats this evening, this lovely acoustic music, because I did consider, should I look for something that has tension, that really evokes like a Resistance type film. And now I've done that, I'm realizing that no, I don't want to do that, because I am already so tense playing this game and just trying to work out what to do with these last 2 members of the Resistance. Fortunately, we do get to send out the call, and we also get some money. I kind of need to do that a couple more times. And then maybe... Yeah, money to food. Yeah, I basically need to make my next turn exactly the same and hope we get a broadly similar spread. We're going to go to the grocer. Radio A gets occupied. We're going to go to Radio B. Vet gets occupied. Would be Radio B, they go to Rue Barada instead. Would be Radio A, would be Pont l'Evêque. Okay. This is looking bleak. I'm not gonna deny. But I might actually, I may need to check this, but again, my logic is that you should be able to call in an airdrop from a radio regardless of whether you make it back to the safe house. It is unclear in the rules, but yeah, I feel it is a reasonable if it's ambiguous. Maybe this is a house rule out of right now, admittedly, desperation. But I'm about to be down to a single member of the resistance, so I am definitely going to airdrop in a weapon, and this person is going to get arrested. This person is going to pick up some food we do not need and return to the safe house all alone. Oh wow, this is grim. I might have to play this a few more times. Probably on stream. Okay, next day. We lose morale. At this point, makes barely any difference. Go to this field. Pick up these two weapons. Patrol. Literally does not matter. Fence, fine. Pont du Nord, fine. Grocer, fine. Soldier in Radio B, fine. You go back to the safe house. Go into day 13. We are coming to a head. I need a clear run from this mission. Otherwise, we are arrested. The resistance is destroyed in this place. And we lose the game. This is... You know what? This is heart of the cards. This is top decking against Nazis. Go for it. I just don't want to see the word fence. Radio B. Pont l'Evêque. So it's still doable. We still have a route. That sucks. We have a soldier on the fence. We get rid of these weapons. No, in fact, I was about to say, actually, could we just sacrifice a weapon and get rid of the person on the fence? But then I realized that no, you can't. because the person on the fence is a soldier, they shoot back. We were actually most of the way there. We had a few unlucky draws. We had a few... Yeah, it was literally, if they had been... What other cards have we got? A Fence, Radio B, and Rubaradat. Yeah, Rubaradat, we're doing fine. Rubaradat, Halt du Nord, Grocer. Yeah, that Grocer would have messed us about, but yeah, that is a real shame. That was... Whew. This person gets arrested. And we lose. We lose. This is actually kind of nice thing about Tabletop Simulator. Oh, there's that meeple. We can now just zoom out. Look at this lovely scenery. Look out over this town where I definitely live, and that is not just a random stock image that I found in Tabletop Simulator. Just look around at this lovely sunset. Oh. Okay. That took us a little bit longer than anticipating, but that had me doing lots of explanations, lots of sitting around, lots of thinking. In theory, this is, I believe, about a 20-minute game. So. 30-minute game. Okay. I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to move to the Be Right Back screen. And then I'm going to come and see if I can do one last quick game before 11 o'clock. Because I was actually about to reset this, but I've realized actually that I can just move everything back to where it was. I can stack these up. Get these resistance members back where they started. It's like it's almost like going back to it's almost like reversing time at a movie where we look back at our august beginnings and note with sadness that we came so far and only to fall at the final hurdle. It is empty chairs at empty tables because Les Mis. Okay, because I am feeling a little bit Les Miserables after that particular outcome. I was so close. That's probably the closest I've come to winning. So, like, let's go from there. Let's take that as a positive. We're gonna move these cards over to the side. The Chemist Lab off the table. We're gonna definitely have 2 new missions. And yeah, I'm actually basically ready to go the instant I come back. So I am going to yeah, I'm gonna take 5 minutes and then I will be back. In the meantime, yeah, if you want to support this Kickstarter, it is just on the information screen, kickstarter.com projects/sideroomgames/Maquis 2nd edition. It still has 3 days to go on the campaign, and we'll finish on Friday, February the 26th. So actually a few more than 3 days. time is weird. Oh no, it's like at midnight, so at the end of February the 25th. That's fine. I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Right. I think I have recomposed myself. I have. I am ready to try this again. I am. Let's see. I really want to. I really want to get a win. That is 3 for 3. I am 0 for 3 in this game. I want so bad. I really want the win. And I'm really fascinated to learn more about it. Like, I mean, this is almost certainly going to end up being. I'm going to have to stream this more because I want more people to know about this game. Right. So we're back where we started. What are our missions? Our missions. Should we choose to accept it, which we will. Oh no! Take out the bridges. The occupation has enjoyed unfettered access to the city for too long. Slow them down. Destroy a bridge, deliver 2 explosives to the black market. At the end of the day, place a market on a bridge of your choice connected to the black market. Workers may not pass destroyed bridges for the rest of the game. Oh, wow. So, there's a lot coming. So, first off, we're going to have to get the chemist lab on the board. Second, we're going to have to get 4 doctor's bags to be converted one at a time by the chemist. Third, we're going to have to take them to go to the black market, and then we have to potentially cut off that spare room, cut off Radio B, cut off the poor district. Fundamentally, we are potentially cutting off one of our escape routes back. This is gonna be tough. So that's definitely gonna be a second goal. Unless we can, I mean, we might be able to write off this spare room. That's possible. That's not the worst thing. But all of these others are very useful. Second mission. Okay. Coded messages. Knowledge is power. Work with other resistance fighters from other cities to monitor the occupation. Train a cryptographer, then have them communicate with other resistance operatives. A worker must be placed here by end of day 6 and must remain here until the end of day 10. So, this is a time limited thing during which I will not have access to a worker. End of day 6 and end of day 10. So days 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 days I will not have access to one of my workers. They will be coming back, but they are going to not be available. And they're going to take a money, a food, and a weapon. Okay. This can be done. I am sure this can be done. We just need to ensure that we are playing effectively. And that's going to start very simply at the start. I can word good. We're going to start off going to the grocer, because that's easy. You're not going to the grocer, you're going to the Pont Nord instead. Then let's get to... You know what? Let's just set up the path. Wait, let's not set up the path. Let's go to Radio B first. You'll go to the fence. So I'm now really nervous about putting somebody in the black market because I know that's what caused an arrest straight away last time. I'm almost tempted just to... Maybe the doctor? Fact. Yeah, you know what? We are going to risk losing this operative. Radio A, Polnavec. Okay. That I don't know if that was a better play, but I'm just thinking that having a drop of money, having a drop for money so we can get the chemist in play, I think is a better plan. So we're going to drop one money. We're going to drop all of these on an empty field. Sorry. So, oh wait, hang on. I might have been cheating because it specifies an empty field, so that implies that you can't have multiple resources. You may choose either. You may only place resources in a field that does not already have resources on it. So I was cheating slightly in the last game. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so you can't play as efficiently as I thought. But hey, I lost that game anyway, and I was cheating, so more fool me. Right. Okay. Right. So we got one money there, and you know what, let's prioritize getting the spare room because we're going to need the explosives. We might as well get those in place sooner rather than later. And we also get some groceries. And you go there. You can't go there. You can't go there. Nope, you're going to be arrested. I feel like losing somebody on the first turn is not a great indicator as to how we're going to play. But we shall press on Eva. Let's go. I was actually thinking, like, at the top of this stream, is like, should I sprinkle in gratuitous French? No, didn't end up doing that. I do theoretically speak some French. Like, I took it to post college, so I took it for a couple of years in university. But I do speak moderate French on a good day. I probably understand it read rather more than listening. I can understand it listening better than I speak it, but I definitely speak it. But it was about a decade ago, and yeah, in fact more. Dear Lord, when did I last? Let's not think too much about the about the bleak certainties of life. Anyway, let's instead play this jolly game about being a resistance against Nazi occupation. Wait. Okay, we're just gonna carry on. We're just gonna carry on. Right, you go here. This patrol is gonna go occupy Radio B. You're gonna go to a cafe and recruit a friend. This patrol is gonna occupy a fence. That probably is not comfortable. And this patrol is gonna go to Polnavec. That's absolutely. You come back with some money. You take some food, and come back with a friend. Okay, cool. And next turn. These turns are quite nippy because sometimes there are just, you need to do a thing and they're all fairly close, and honestly, it's not worth faffing about. So you go to a grocer, you go to a field, you go to a cafe, you pick up I mean, this is not going to make a blind bit of difference. So Radio B, if it does, I will change it back, but it won't because everything is grocer, poor district. Absolutely fine. So you pick up food, that gets delivered straight to this guy. You two come back to the safe house. You come back to the safe house with a money. Cool. On to day 3, we lose a morale, which is a shame. And you go down there and there and there. That's absolutely fine. And again, I feel like going to the grocer is the best starting point. You're going to go to Radio A. That's absolutely fine. And you are going to go to the spare room. This deck of cards is going to get shuffled. For some reason, I don't trust the shuffling of Tabletop Simulator anymore. The fact that I don't see that top card move unnerves me. So I'm just going to start doing that. Pont l'Evêque. Okay, that is a shame. But together, no, let's not do. Oh well, actually, I could go to Rue Baradin. But if somebody does the Poor District, risk it. No, because something else on the fence. That's a bad plan. Let's go to the black market. Let's be a little bit conservative in how we do that. See? Would have been the fence, would have been Rue Baradin. You send somebody to the doctor, they're gone. They're gone. This was the better play. And we're still only playing... Oh, no, we're playing 4 because we got 4 resistance members. Oh, no. Okay. I'm not... I don't like our chances. Get a food. And we're going to establish this spare room as a chemist lab. We're going to do this all methodical-like. Chemist lab is something more useful that we could do. I mean, in theory, we could get like a bunch of... I mean, the smuggler is quite useful. That would get us a lot of doctors back in a hurry. I always say that's worth going back to Radio B, radioing for some more money, and setting up this spare room as a smuggler's. But then, is that less efficient than just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 every turn? I don't know. Why do I have 1 food? There, you're there. No food. I have 2 food. I'm going to assume I've done things right and just carry on. Right. Pont l'Evêque. Area B. Doctor. Radio A. That's a shame. I really could have used that as a thing. Might be worth stockpiling some food. Let's... Cool. Right, let's stockpile a food. And grab a bag. And come back here. We're going to end up with a lot of food because we need to keep going through the grocers to the summit for the chemist lab. Because if somebody lands on the grocers, then the chemist lab is completely screwed. It just doesn't become, it's just not safe. Okay. On to day 4. I'm actually going to do the same thing, and we're just going to see how this works. Pont l'Evêque, you go to Pont l'Evêque instead. You go to the doctors. You go to the grocer. And so that gives us option. This does give us, so we definitely have options doing this, because this is a very efficient route. And Radio A or Rue Baradin. But that can drop us money or a weapon. We need both. Let's drop a weapon. You scurry home. Get a medicine bag. You scurry home. Then you scurry home. You get out of town. And this moves on. We're gonna have trouble with morale in a second. I'm actually gonna put these sideways because the stacking is slightly too efficient, and you don't have the. I don't like the angle you get for Tabletop Simulator when you're looking at the chips when they're stacked, because unless they're really tall, you can't really tell what's going on. So I could sell one of those foods. Okay, let's go to the grocer. You go to the Pont de Nord. You go to... Let's hold off on reducing morale. Oh, and morale's going to go down next turn anyway. So even if I were to raise morale, it would just go back to 3, and I'd lose a doctor's bag. Worth it, though? Possibly. No, let's just get some money. Radio B. And you can go to... You know what? Go to the field. Pick up that weapon. Oh, wow. I'm glad I remembered that. I have to have somebody here by the end of day 6. Oh, wow. I almost forgot that was an entire subplot of this game. Yeah, we definitely need to risk that morale, because otherwise we don't have the money for coded messages. I was not thinking about this being a timed event. Huh, okay, well, you come back from the field with a weapon. And that's going to get stacked with this food. This food's going to go, and we're going to get a money, which also gets stacked over here. Actually, we're gonna stack it like how it shows on the thing. So 1, 2. Close enough. And we're also going to lose a morale. You're going to scurry back. And we do get food back. We get food. We get food. So these are all kind of balancing out. Oh wait, did we? Okay, so that would have been the fence anyway. So that's absolutely fine. Apologies, I didn't see that happening. I made a mistake. Okay, we're on to day 6. We lose another morale. That kind of sucks. And right now, just the most important thing in the world is those doctor's bags. We want to get some grocers. We might as well do the grocery now. Okay, let's secure the grocers. Or do not. So, it's worth pointing out, you can get places even if you couldn't get there theoretically. It's only... the only important bit is running back to the safe house. Which for this person, we don't need to worry about till day 10. But that is hard. That's 1, 2, 3, 4... four rounds in which we only have 2 members of the team, which is kind of sucky. Radio A, that's fine. We're now playing 4. You're going to go and hang out in... That was not the button I meant to press. Got off the edge of the table. You're going to go here. Our final 2 are going to go to not the grocer, but Poor District. And then to, not Radio A, but to Rue Barada. Okay. We're going to trade a medicine bag for explosives. You run home. You get some food. You run home. And that's the next couple of days. To be honest. Yep, that's all good. And you're going to go here. You go to the fence. You're going to go here. You go to Pont l'Evêque. You go to Radio B. You go to Pont l'Evêque, Pont du Nord. There we go. Cool. Absolutely fine. So you come back, trade a doctor's bag for an explosive. We now have the ability to hit the black market. And actually, the location of these events is actually pretty convenient, because Pont l'Evêque Doctor, Grocer Chemist, Grocer Black Market, this is a little bit easier to do than, say, getting things from all over town. So I'm actually feeling not too bad. These need to be traded in. Because now we actually only need to get... Can you get medicine here? Money, weapon, or food? No. So we literally just need to go Pont l'Evêque and then 2 turns. I think this might be doable. Not saying definitely, because... yeah, but I think just due to the combination, even if this person... That being said, end of day 10, we need to make sure that our route home for this operative is good, because that also does not have an orange shield. So, yeah, I think we actually need to make sure this person gets home. Okay, that's fine. No, we're not starting the grocer. You were meant to come home. You also meant to get a food. And... day 6, yeah, because end of day 7, yeah, because this person's been on for 1 round. So, Pont l'Evêque. I want to check something. So, Radio B. Radio A. Okay, so it does shuffle the top card. Okay, it's a visual thing that my brain doesn't like, and I disapprove. Okay, so safe house to doctor. Fence. Radio B. And fence through Barada. Okay. We get the doctors back. Both of you guys come home. I think the fact that I'm now feeling more tense because I think I can see the path to victory, and I'm just not sure on timing. I'm not sure on morale. Like, we may have to sacrifice one of these doctor's bags to go to the poor district, which sounds kind of monstrous now that I think about it, but I'm really, like, we do have... I mean, that would just stave off defeat on that basis. So, definitely a possibility. So, let's start with Pont l'Evêque. Grocer, absolutely fine. You go to the doctor. Radio A, not a problem. Grocer, Pont du Nord. Okay, but yeah, Pont du Nord and Grocer definitely need to be secured at the end of the next round. And Radio B, that's fine. Cool, cool, cool. So we get another doctor's bag. From back, that's fine. Down, don't look 'em in the eye. Oh, we've got Les Mis on the brain now. Will this get copyright claimed off YouTube when I put it up? Those seconds. I don't know. Okay. Look, again, this is a much quicker game than I was playing it the first time, because we're on day 10 and only 5 to 11. So definitely, when you hang around the mechanics, it can play quite snappily quickly. But yeah, it's really, it's still a nice little puzzle. So, like, having got the mechanics down, it's still a nice little puzzle to try and work out. And you can still be really tense on things. Right, so, do you want to go through the Grocer or Pont l'Evêque? Because one of those, more than likely, Grocer, Radio A, Grocer, Fence. So I'd actually say 2 cards, and then we shuffle. That's annoying. Two cards, then we shuffle. I like if this discard was smaller, I'd say that we'd better off trying to, we could probably go for the grocer and assume that Pont-l'Evêque was about to come out. Pont-l'Evêque is probably about to come out, but like, yeah, we definitely want to make sure grocer is secure. Yeah, there we go. Pont-l'Evêque. I had assumed that would be the case. And then I don't feel like Pont du Nord is. Look, Pont du Nord. Does Pont du Nord appear at the top of any of these? I'm not cheating. This is actually something the thing says where you can look through the discard pile of the patrol routes, which I guess is a reference to, taking fastidious notes of the patrol routes that you're using. Yeah, let's. Okay. Pont-l'Evêque, Pont du. Wait, hang on. Oh no, Pont du Nord. I mean, should I have, knowing that Pont-l'Evêque was coming out, should I in fact have? Slight ambiguity. Are there any others that... I just want to have a quick look. Wow. So, the rest of these missions all seem to have, like, game end elements. So, I'll be honest, I'm already at a disadvantage. I'm pretty willing to say this is a gimme, even if this person's not coming back. Because ultimately, by the nature of the text, we've trained a cryptographer, and they've been communicating. That's what the 4 days have been. It's been the training and the communicating. In a few months' time, when I'm much better at this game, we can play this a little bit more severely and say, nope, they've got to get back and report what they've said. But for now, because I'm moderately close, I'm going to send this person to the chemist and just give myself a little bit of a pass. Do that. Radio A. So Radio A and Radio B seem to be quite popular targets. And you go, well, back. Pont-l'Evêque, if not, Black Market. Okay, so Black Market, possibility. Right. Doctor's bag for explosive. And sure, let's get that food. And I'm definitely going to have to go to the poor district to prevent hitting the fail state as a result of day 14's morale loss. In fact, I'm going to do that first. We're going to go Pont-l'Evêque. Fence. And poor district. And Pont-l'Evêque instead goes Pont du Nord. Oh, you got arrested. Sorry, you're done, but we still got this thing. And Grocer and poor district doctor. Okay. I mean, one good thing is that it's very unlikely that everything will be occupied. Not intended. That being said, it doesn't matter whether it's a resistance or a militia, as long as, if somebody's there, somebody's there. Right. Right, so we're going to get rid of this bag. All this food we've been hoarding is going to increase the morale by 1. Everyone comes home. And then we're going to do pretty much the same thing, except this time we're going to go to the doctor. Oh, except day 12. Morale goes back down. Radio B. Radio A. Radio B, or the grocer. Fence. Okay. So, here. Back. Or come back. I have the most horrible feeling I don't have enough days to do this. Because I'm fairly certain the grocer is going to need to be secured. So I kind of need somebody going to the chemist lab at the same time as somebody's going to the black market. And I'm deeply concerned that means the grocer is going to be occupied. Okay, we're just going to have to risk it. That's not great. So, we do take out one of the bridges. Let's just get rid of that one to Radio B, because there's nothing doing there. However, this person from the black market cannot go to can go to Pont du Nord and then runs into the poor district, or straight to the poor district or the grocer, and gets arrested. And this person on the chemist's on the chemist table, it could absolutely trade for dynamite, but then runs straight into the grocer where they meet a member of the militia, and so you get yeeted. And that is our second loss of the night. This game fascinates me because there are clearly good strategies, and I'm just not sure where they are. I think I might be playing a little uncautiously. So what I'm going to do probably is yeah, what I will likely have to do is go away, practice, try some more cautious strategies, probably fail on day 15, maybe try some more aggressive strategies, probably fail because there are soldiers, use weapons. I may just need to use weapons and shoot all the militia. Or maybe I just need to really maintain the morale of the town, or just not lose people. In the meantime, however, here we go. Here. What are my controls? Control. Ah, no, that's the wrong. In the meantime, however, one of the nice touches about Tabletop Simulator in this top menu, where having been beaten twice by the game, we can sit, look at this lovely sunset, bring our cursor up to this button. As we look out through this sunset, over this nice view, we can yeet the table and everything on it into oblivion. If you've enjoyed this game, the Kickstarter for Maquis 2nd Edition is going to be continuing until Friday, February 26th, 2021 at midnight UTC. So it will finish, effectively it goes till 11:59 PM GMT on the 25th. It's already funded. They've not paid me to advertise it or say anything nice about it. I just was recommended it by a friend, and thought solitaire worker placement. It was absolutely what I wanted. It was tense. It was a puzzle. It was me trying to work out where is the best play. And much like other worker placement games, I lost. But I still had fun. I still learned strategies. I still was really thinking about what to do next, and I'm trying to think what I'll do in future games. And I'm certain this will not be the last time you see Maquis on this stream. But yeah, it's already funded. They've not paid me to say anything nice about them. I just saw this game, saw they had a free version of their first edition on Tabletop Simulator, and thought I really wanted to try it and share just a game that I found fascinating. I found really interesting with this community. So I hope you've really enjoyed it. Our next stream is on Wednesday, when I will be playing Project Triangle Strategy, which is the new demo for the for a game which the title I hope is going to change, because this is a terrible name. But it is a strategic role-playing game, so SRPG, much like Fire Emblem or XCOM, I guess. It's in the same style as Octopath Traveler, so that HT 2D pixel sprites on 3D environments aesthetic from Octopath Traveler, because it's also the same team who made Octopath Traveler and also the Bravely series, Bravely Default 2 and Bravely 2nd. But the thing they're doing differently with this strategy game is that they are factoring in height and elevation. So if you are lower on the ground, then you are going to potentially take more damage. If you are higher up, you have a better defense position, and you can fire further with weaponry, ranged weapons. And I have not been spoiled for anything. It will be completely sight unseen. I have heard very good things from the headlines. A lot of reviews are saying it's now their most anticipated game. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, gonna be getting my teeth into that on Wednesday, and then my first ever collab with Dandy Floss on Saturday evening is going to be more Wingspan, which is what we saw a couple of days ago, and you can still check out the VOD. I really had a lot of fun, and it's a lovely contrast to go from Wingspan to, which was very chill, very calming, very relaxed, very soothing, to Maquis, which was decidedly not. It was tense, and it made my brain ache trying to work out what is the efficient play, where we can sacrifice things. So yeah, this has been, I like the contrast that we've had so far. All of this information is going to be shared on my Twitter. You can follow me at LoxleyVT. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me as we explored the tense atmosphere of Maquis. I hope you have a great day. I got again to find someone to raid, and it's gonna be, oh come on Twitch, load. Yeah, I figured you might be on as you were here earlier. We are gonna go and raid Arasuma Hanzo's channel. I feel this might be a slightly lonely raid. One viewer. Oh, well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for lurking. It's been a pleasure. If you're inclined to join in, here is your raid call. It is Goat Raid, because why wouldn't it be? Thank you for joining me. and I hope to see you again. In the meantime, hurrah.